Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's Diego with another fantastic live stream for you here, Monday, July 6th, 2026. It is 90 degrees outside here in the panhandle of Florida. Very warm today, and that's normal for Florida in July, and I'm sure it's going to stay warm for the rest of the month. But I'm here to help you with your K1 visas and your green cards and your spousal visas and maybe even a tourist visa. I think my beautiful wife, Karina, who is from Caracas, Venezuela, well, her friend probably wants to come over here for a vacation. So from Bogota, Colombia. So I'm going to be helping her figure out her tourist visa, which is going to be a long wait, no doubt. Trying to get a tourist visa is a long wait, especially from Colombia. Now, I was just fixing to go live, and then all of a sudden, all the power went out, and I had to reset everything for the live stream. So apparently, everybody in the neighborhood is using their air conditioners because it's so hot outside that the system in the barrio overloaded and everybody's AC was shut off, which included electricity for the house. So everything came back on, and now we're back on here alive. Karina is doing her homework for her English classes. Remember, Karina is waiting for the adjudication of her 10-year green card, which is probably going to take forever during the Trump administration. And lucky for us, the Trump administration is not forever. It's a temporary thing we got to deal with. You and everybody else, right? Trying to go through the green card process and trying to get their K1 visas approved, etc. But that's okay. We are used to the ups and downs of immigration, and that's why we put this channel together to help you get through the process easily and stress free and with as minimum cost as possible. Now, if you have any questions regarding how to process your K1 visa, I'm here to answer your questions. If you have any questions on how to process your 2-year application, lifting the conditions for your 10-year green card. And remember, when you file to adjust status for your 2-year green card, you're going to have at least 3 months worth of evidence that you're going to include in your application. Plus, you're not going to make any mistakes in the paperwork. Plus, you're going to repeat your medical exam by a civil surgeon authorized by the State Department. You're going to fill out your paperwork correctly because any mistakes in paperwork right now is going to cost you time, money, and maybe a denial. So make sure you don't make any silly mistakes when you fill out your 485, your 864. And also don't forget, immigration is not accepting checks anymore or cashier's checks or money orders. You have to either form G1650 or you need to file, and that's the one I recommend, Form G1650, debit card. Have immigration take the money out of your checking or savings account for the benefit that you're applying for. Copperhead, what's the best way to gain land ownership in a foreign country? Well, first of all, you got to check to see if the foreign country will sell land to American citizens, U.S. citizens. The Philippines will not let you purchase land. Thailand, they will not let you purchase land. Most countries in the world will not let you purchase land ownership in foreign countries. In those countries, they just won't do it. The United States, I guess they just don't care. They're selling land to communist Chinese around military installations. So the United States apparently doesn't care who they sell land to. But I know that countries like the Philippines and Thailand will not let American citizens purchase land. Only citizens of the nations of Philippines and Thailand can buy land in the Philippines and Thailand. I don't know about Australia or England or European countries. I think European countries are more lenient. You can probably buy land in Italy. You could buy a house in Italy if you wanted to. But, honestly, it depends on the country, Copperhead, and what the country's rules are. So some countries will let you, some countries won't let you. But I know for a fact that if you are trying to buy land in the Philippines, you can just hang it up because you can't do it as an American citizen. Same for Thailand. Like my dad lives in Thailand and he built a house in Thailand, purchased land in Thailand, but everything's in his wife's name. I mean, he's been married to a lady from Thailand for about, what, 25 years? So everything is in her name. He was basically, providing the financial support, and everything was put in her name in Thailand. Francois Livingston, good evening, Diego and Karina. I hope you and Karina had a good Independence Day. Fantastic. We went over to Karina's workmate's house for Independence Day, and they gave a fantastic show. They had a fantastic firework display, and so Karina and I had a fantastic Independence Day. Happy birthday, America. And remember, it's Happy Independence Day. Don't wish Americans Happy July 4th if you can help it, because then you're wishing Julius Caesar good tidings instead of wishing the American person you're trying to, give salutations to happy independence from the United Kingdom, the former colony of England, right? Copperhead, there seems like there is more speed bumps for marriage-based USCIS dealings. It used to be a guide path to citizenship, now more scrutiny under Trump administration. President Trump is trying the very best that he can to stop people from immigrating to this country from specific countries that he does not like. Okay? And that includes Brazil, Morocco, Colombia. I don't know why he doesn't like Colombia. So the director of Homeland Security is the person running the show, basically. The Congress has thrown in the towel. The Republican-led Congress has decided that they no longer have any authority to run immigration, even though they're the ones that wrote the laws. And they're letting the director of Homeland Security do whatever the hell he wants. So in order to fix immigration in this great country, in order to return back to the way the Immigration and Nationality Act was written, which means that everybody gets a shot at adjudication, not just specific countries that a person in the White House likes or dislikes. So once we have a new director of Homeland Security who is able to follow congressional law and will follow the Immigration and Nationality Act, that is when the speed bumps will basically go away, and American citizens who are married to foreign nationals will be able to start once again working on bringing their husbands and wives to the United States to live. Copperhead, recent policy changes have amped up scrutiny of all immigration applications and chipped away at families' willingness to engage with the government. Well, I don't have a problem with the Trump administration amping up the security. The policy changes are basically security, okay? They're in their own minds, they think what they're doing is they think it's best for the country. But in reality, what they're doing is these people have already been vetted. They've been investigated. Like Karina, my beautiful wife from Venezuela, she's been vetted by Interpol. She's been vetted by the Colombian National Security Police. She was vetted by the Venezuelan Security Police. And she's been vetted twice by the Federal Bureau of Investigation. And she has done absolutely nothing wrong. She has committed no crimes, and she has absolutely 100% followed the Immigration and Nationality Act. But President Trump seems to think that he can ignore congressional laws and either slow down or try to put her in legal limbo where she can apply for U.S. citizenship, but they're never going to give her a date for an interview, or she'll go to the interview, and they'll never give her a date to get sworn in. So in order to overcome that, okay, which is totally against the Immigration and Nationality Act, in order to overcome that, we need to change the government in November, and then we need to change the presidency in 2029, right? January 20th, 2029 is President Trump's last day in office. As per the Constitution of the United States, if they decide to continue following the Constitution is to be seen, right? We don't know. But my wife's green card expires now June 26th, 2030, which is a year and a half way past the end of Trump's presidency. And in a couple of months, we're going to have an election. And hopefully the members of Congress that get elected in November will start doing their job in January and start enforcing the Immigration and Nationality Act, lifting the ban off those 75 countries. Those people are entitled to due process. They're not entitled to the benefit. They're entitled to a yes or a no. Yes, yes, here's your green card. Or no, we can't issue you a green card, and here's the reason why. You don't put somebody, a family, an American citizen family, in legal limbo where they don't know what the heck is going on with their husband or wife, or bringing mom over or whatever. It's just totally incredulous to me that the U.S. government would do that to an American citizen's family when, you read the words under the Statue of Liberty, in New York City. Actually, it's in the Hudson River, but if you read the inscription on the Statue of Liberty, President Trump is going against the very inscription that was written on the Statue of Liberty. And I believe he said he could knock it down if he wanted to, and nothing would happen to him. Who would say that? Who would want to destroy the Statue of Liberty? I mean, I don't know if he said that or not. Maybe it wasn't true, but we just have to wait out this presidency. Okay? He's halfway there. In November, he's halfway through. So to those folks from those 75 countries, be patient, hang in there. You're more than qualified, I'm sure, for the green cards. Your American citizen sponsors are more than qualified to bring you to America and reunite you with your families. But we have a president that doesn't want to do that. Okay, well then we change presidents, right? We change we get rid of the Congress in November, get a new Congress. What about, we had the DREAM Act. What happened? I think there was 3 versions of the DREAM Act for the DACA children. What about these children brought to the United States when they were babies, grew up here, lived here for 20 years, went to school here, graduated high school, graduated from university, living happy life. Just all they had to do was check in with the immigration every 2 years. Now their work permits are being deliberately timed out where they can't work here anymore. I mean, we have a vicious government. I'm not illegal. I don't, illegal immigrants need to be deported, right? You come in here illegally, you should be deported. But if you were brought in here as a child and you don't know anything but this country since you were a baby, why isn't the Congress of the United States issuing these children green cards and permanent status? It's insane. The Statue of Liberty, okay, is crying her eyes out. Copperhead. Let's see here. How hard was it to study for your my real estate license? It was a lot of work. I mean, I went to school to get my real estate license. I had to go to school. I had to take an exam. I had to take exams. And then I had to take a state exam. But studying for it was easy for me because I'm not a lazy person. I'm not lazy at all. So if a person is lazy and they don't feel like studying, if you don't study for the real estate exam, you won't pass it. If you study hard and go to class and take the tests and try to remember everything, then you'll be okay. But you have to take a Florida real estate exam. It's a statewide exam. And if you pass it, then they issue your real estate license. You got to pay, I think it's like $57 for the real estate license. But it's not hard to do if you're willing to work. Study hard. You got to study because you got to go through real estate law, and there's all different kind of procedures. Now, I could renew my real estate license, which means I'd have to take another class, go to school again to relicense myself. I can do that, but I don't see the point. Why, if I get my real estate license, what am I going to do with it? Just say, well, I got a real estate license. Whoop-de-doo, right? What am I going to do with it? Go work for a broker, make him money, and I get the scraps off the table? The only way to make money in real estate is to be a broker. Okay, that's how you make money in real estate. Real estate agents can make money, but not as much as you think. Really, they don't make that much as you think. To make money in real estate, you got to be a broker. So to me, it was easy. I just, because I'm not lazy and I studied hard, and I included my real estate license when I applied for Karina's K1 visa. I was a real estate agent. I was actually a realtor. So I put that into the K1 visa application, Hey, I got my real estate license. It's a certification. You're a beneficiary. Once he comes to the United States, when you meet somebody new or you bring somebody in and get married, make sure that your beneficiary includes in the adjustment of status paperwork any college degrees that he or she may have, the education level, whether even if it's a high school diploma, include it. Immigration want to know what is the level of education of the person you are bringing into the USA. What certifications do you have? Do you have, like a license for mechanical engineering, or you can work on cars, you're a mechanic. You have certification as a gas fitter or a plumber. Whatever you have, immigration want to know, and you must include it in the 485. Immigration is going to look very hard at the person that you're bringing to the United States. Is that person going to get a job when they arrive in America once they get their green card? Or are they going to be like they could be stay-at-home mom, which is okay. No problem. It's no problem. You could have a little 2 or 3 year old baby, and your wife, your new wife from whatever country, is a stay-at-home mom. There's nothing wrong with that. But if your wife from that country that you brought over here as a stay-at-home mom, what is her level of education? Does she have a high school diploma? Does she have an associate's degree, a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, or a PhD? You got to put it in the paperwork for the 2-year green card. Immigration want to know that. Okay, that's very important. When you fill out the 485, if you don't put any certifications down, if you don't put any level of education down, if you just leave it blank, you're going to get the whole case sent back to you, or maybe a denial, or you're going to get a request for further evidence. Where is your level of education? What do you have? What can you offer the United States of America? Yeah, you're a stay-at-home mom, but you're not going to be a stay-at-home mom forever. Maybe for the next 10 years, maybe 11 years, but you're going to have to be able to find a job one day, and then immigration is going to look and see if you're able to stand on your own 2 feet. Also, okay, they're looking to see what education you have. Like Karina, my wife, she has a degree in tax accounting from a university in Arizona, a university in Venezuela. She's got a degree in tax accounting, and right now she is in school for English classes. She's been taking tests. She's been certifying in English. Okay, we collect all this evidence. So when she applies for U.S. citizenship, the immigration officer could ask her, what's your level of education, Karina? Well, I got a degree in tax accounting, and I've been in university for the last 3 years taking English classes. Here's my exam results right here, etc. The ultimate goal is to become a U.S. citizen, and then you don't have to worry about filling out immigration paperwork anymore, and you can relax a little bit. That's the goal, right? Become a citizen, and then you don't have to worry about renewing your green card. When you apply for your 10-year green card, it may take 2 years. It could take 2.5 years before they even schedule you for an appointment. But you're already in the window to qualify for U.S. citizenship. So if you've been in the country for 3 years, 3.5 years, married to an American citizen, and you still haven't heard back on your 10-year green card, you can still apply for U.S. citizenship. You can do it both at the same time. So you go to your U.S. citizenship interview, you pass that, they'll also adjudicate your 10-year green card side by side. Okay? So don't panic if you're qualified for U.S. citizenship and you still haven't got your 10-year green card. Don't worry, still apply for U.S. citizenship, and you can apply 90 days from the 36-month window from the issue date of your 2-year green card. Look at your 2-year green card. Look at the issue date. Add 36 months to that. So Karina's 2-year green card expired on June 26th, 2026, which was last month. Her 2-year green card has expired, but she's working off of a 48-month letter of extension now. So her 48-month letter of extension expires June 26th, 2030, but she's eligible for U.S. citizenship in June of 2027, next year. Even if President Trump is still trying to block her from getting her citizenship, we are still going to apply for her U.S. citizenship in accordance with the Immigration and Nationality Act. Okay? The Homeland Security Director, the President, okay, they're all trying to stop people from becoming citizens from their list of countries that they don't like. But Congress says you can't do that. Federal judges are saying you can't do that. So we're going to, if Karina's English is up to par, we're going to apply for U.S. citizenship. And then when she goes to the interview, so they're going to say, well, congratulations, you passed, but unfortunately we can't schedule you for a swearing-in ceremony just yet because President Trump has put a block on Venezuelans. Okay, that's when I get on the phone to my immigration attorney. That's when I need an immigration attorney, and I sue the crap out of them for violating the Immigration and Nationality Act. And then a federal judge will then tell him at USCIS, did she qualify for U.S. citizenship? Yes, federal judge, she did. Okay, then make her a freaking citizen. That's how it's going to work. So don't be afraid of this government. Don't be scared of the Trump administration. Okay? Now, it's a little different for people on asylum, trying to seek asylum. They're getting denied. The TPS folks, the temporary protective status folks, they're being denied now. They're being told to go home. And the U.S. Supreme Court sided with Trump and said, yeah, you got to go home. But remember, TPS was temporary. It was temporary. And the folks from Haiti have been here for what, 10, 12 years? The earthquake was fixed, but I don't know what the political conditions are like in Haiti right now. I don't know. But the asylum seekers, a lot of them were bogus anyway. Really, they really were. They were bogus. And the person that's claiming asylum from Colombia, seriously? That's ridiculous, right? Colombia is not a problem country. It's a capitalist republic. It's a republic like the United States. It's a rich country, and there's plenty of jobs in Colombia. Now, the economy is different, but then the cost of living is different. You know, you may make $8 an hour, $7, $6 an hour in Bogota, Colombia, but your rent is what? $400 a month? You know, there's a big difference with the economy of Bogota, Colombia, or Colombia in general, plus versus the United States. Like if you try to pay rent in New York City, what is it? $4,000 for a little 1-bedroom apartment in New York City? It's impossible to live in New York City. Most people live in New Jersey and commute to work. They either come from New Jersey or they catch the train, you know, from further south. It's crazy. But as far as President Trump's concerned, his mission in life is to stop people immigrating to the United States. And he's using different methods that he can use, like terminating TPS, which he did through the Supreme Court. It should have been done by the Congress. The Congress should have been saying, okay, your temporary protective status is up. You need to go home. But the Congress didn't do it. They were too afraid to lose what? Votes. What? From who? From American citizens who are married to or are in, employers of these people under TPS. So the members of Congress were too scared to do their job. So Trump took it to the Supreme Court, and they did whatever the Congress should have done and said, okay, TPS is up, go home. But the problem I have right now is I don't think that people who have been vetted and have been in the United States for years, who have green cards, should be put into legal limbo. You know, you could have people here from Venezuela been in the United States for 5 or 6 years, 7 years, 8, 9 years, even 10 years. Now, you could have people from Venezuela applying to renew their 10-year green card for a second time, being put on hold. And they've been in the country for 10 years, never had a problem. It's not good. It's an attack on American citizens and their families. Okay, well, if the Trump administration want to play that game, okay, well then they will pay the price at the ballot box come November. They're going to pay the price. The Democrats are going to win control of the House of Representatives in November, and they're going to be sworn in January. And then a lot of these things that Trump's trying to do is going to be put on hold. Maybe they'll do their job and overturn all these blocks that he's got on legal immigration. You know, my friend he makes a lot of money, and his wife is from Colombia, but she's a Venezuelan. She's on hold, trying to get her a green card to come into the USA. You got people from Brazil, you know, conservative people, qualify for the benefit, being put on hold. It doesn't make sense to me, other than Trump is trying to, I don't know. I think he's just trying to make America for people who are born in America. I don't know. Who knows? But it's not going to be forever, whatever he's trying to do. You know, this country was built on immigration, right? President Trump's family came to the United States from where? Scotland. His wife is from Slovakia. Marco Rubio, the Secretary of State, his mom and dad were born and raised in Cuba, came to Miami, became green card holders. Then Marco Rubio was born in Miami to the parents of Cubans who were green card holders. And yet here he is blocking people from Colombia trying to get their green cards. You know, it's Trump, but you know, Marco Rubio is a good guy actually. And what he's doing is he's just following orders from the White House. He's following orders like a good soldier. He's doing what he's told to do. Perhaps probably the director of Homeland Security is doing what he's told to do also from Trump. Trump is the one cracking the whip here. Okay? But he's halfway through his term. I don't see a political chance in hell Republicans controlling the House of Representatives after the way they decimated this country economically, with inflation, with, you know, wars, and the attack on American citizens' families because they're married to foreign nationals. When President Trump put a block on my beautiful wife's advancement to U.S. citizenship, he's not just attacking my wife, he's attacking me. And I'm a U.S. citizen, and I'm a voter, and I'm a 20-year Navy veteran, and I don't put up with that kind of crap. That's an attack on my family. I'm not going to bring somebody to the United States of America who I think is a national security threat. I'm not going to do it. Karina my wife, she's been vetted by every single police force on the planet, just about. Interpol, the FBI has screened her twice, the Colombian police, the Venezuelan security forces. She's been cleared. There is absolutely no excuse why she cannot advance to U.S. citizenship, other than the fact that Trump says no. Okay, well, presidents are temporary. Members of Congress are temporary. I was on the phone with the Congresswoman Salazar in Miami today. I called her office down in Miami. She's in Miami because they're on recess. Remember, members of Congress and members of the Senate don't work very hard, and they don't do much. They work very, very little. And for the most of the time, they're on frickin' vacation. So I called Congresswoman Salazar's office, and Congresswoman Salazar wrote a letter to the Director of Homeland Security, I think January or February, asking him if he would lift the block on processing green cards for Venezuelans and for Cubans. This is a Congresswoman. The Director of Homeland Security works for Congress, but she was acting like she was the employee, not the employer. These people are weak. They got no backbone. Members of Congress right now should be contacting the Director of Homeland Security and telling him to lift the block on those people. It's not just Venezuela and Cuba. It's a bunch of African countries. They should be, the Congress are not doing squat. They're useless. They should have already overturned the block. They should have been writing letters and writing legislation to overturn the block and say, look, the Immigration and Nationality Act says you can't do this. But they're not doing anything. They're useless. Republicans and Democrats, they're both useless. That's why I'm independent. I'm registered non-party affiliate. I can't see voting for anybody actually in the primaries or in November. I don't see anybody worth voting for. Most conservatives, like I'm conservative, okay? I'm not far left. I'm conservative, constitutional conservative. I'm not going to go out and waste my vote on a Republican who has done jack squat for the people in his constituency. I'm not going to do it. And lots of independents are feeling the same way. A lot of independents are just going to stay home. They're not going to vote. They're going to stay home, and then the Democrats are going to win. That's what's going to happen. For the most part, that's what's going to happen. I'm not saying in the blue states, California is always going to be Democrat. New York, same. I'm talking about red states like Texas. And Texas is slowly losing its red status because of Trump's attack on Latinos. It was Latinas in Texas that helped Trump win Texas. But now he's not doing squat to help these people maintain their green cards if they're from specific countries. Okay, so these people are not going to vote Republican anymore. They may even not vote at all, or they may vote for the other side, the Democrats. Okay, well, that's politics, right? That's just the way it works out. But that's what's happening. It's July 6th. We got an election in November, August. So let's say August. So in what, 4 months? What legislation have the Republicans written right now to protect American families who are married to green card holders? Nothing. They've done squat. Nothing. They haven't done anything. And those are people that we have elected who are supposed to be representing you. Remember, green card holders cannot vote. If you are a legal permanent resident, you cannot vote. You cannot register to vote, and you cannot say you are an American citizen. If you do one of those three things, you will be deported. But you still have rights under the Constitution to due process, right? My wife, Karina, has due process rights as a green card holder. Due process means here's your 10-year green card. Yes or no? Yes or no, you can become a citizen. Yes or no? That's due process under the Fourth Amendment. I think it's the Fourth. But we have people in the government right now who just put people into a legal limbo. It's un-American. It's totally un-American. And the Republicans are going to pay for that in November. Because if you take a look at the Democrats' track record, they're pro-legal immigration. They're not going to block somebody from getting their green card because they were born in Cuba. People that come to this country from Cuba are coming here for a reason, right? To escape communism. The same's true for Venezuelans. They wanted to escape communism. My wife relocated from Venezuela to Colombia in 2018. She lived in Colombia for 6 years. She didn't want to live under Maduro, So she's a patriot. She loves the United States, and it's just unfortunate that we have a White House that is anti-immigration. When he was going after illegals, we were all cheering because that was freeing up time for you guys to get your green cards. When immigration's concentrating on legal immigration instead of trying to figure out asylum cases, which are totally bogus anyway, most of them. But when President Trump said that people from these 75 countries are no longer going to get adjudicated for a green card because you were born in a specific country, that's discrimination at the max. It's just discrimination. That's all it is. People have already been vetted. He's either being discriminatory or he doesn't trust his consular officers. Well, if you don't trust your consular officers to vet people, then rehire different people. Don't put a block on family reunification. Hire new consular officers. Right? That's what I would say. But we still live in a great country. America is a great country, and we're a constitutional republic. We're going to continue to be a great country. No matter who the president is, we are still a great country made up of people from all different walks of life, from different countries. And obviously, Americans welcome legal immigration. President Trump said he welcomes legal immigration. It was a lie. It's obviously not true. Just my opinion. Obviously, that's my opinion. He's just lying to get votes from people like me. Well, this guy right here is going to kick back and sit back, and I'm going to stay home. I'm not going to vote for anybody. I can't vote for Democrats because they're turning into a communist group, and I can't vote for Republicans because they're going after trying to prevent my wife from becoming a part of this great country as a U.S. citizen. So I can't vote for either side. They're both a joke. David, ZZZ, is there any advantage in filing a K3 during the I-130 IR stall? No. K3s are dinosaurs. Waste of time. K3s are dinosaurs. Okay? It would be a total waste of time. You just file the I-130 and you wait out the process. I've got allergies from the pollen. If you're married to a foreign national, file the I-130. It doesn't matter what country you're from. If you're from one of the bloc countries, most unfortunate, but still do the paperwork, still go through the process. And remember, in order to fix immigration, we need to change the government. President Trump thinks he's fixing immigration, when in fact he is putting on a ridiculous amount of pressure on the families of American citizens. He's hurting our economy also. He is. President Reagan gave amnesty, and you had to meet certain requirements. You couldn't be a criminal. You couldn't have a criminal history. You had to pass background checks, a medical exam. And the folks that have been in the country for 10 years, they were given green cards. What damage did that do to the American psychic or to this country, to the country's bloodline? Nothing. It didn't damage anything. It helped our economy. President Bush, George H.W. Bush, gave amnesty. What harm did it do to the economy of our country? Nothing. What damage did it do? No damage at all. So all presidents, all the way, Republicans and Democrats, have all tried to fix the problem and provide a pathway to some kind of permanent residency in this country to people that snuck in because the federal government wasn't smart enough to secure the borders. When the federal government gets smart enough to secure the borders, then we won't have an illegal immigrant problem. Right? Once the borders are secure, there's no immigration problem. Then people come in on tourist visas. If they don't leave when they're supposed to, they need to be checking in with immigration. And if they don't check in with immigration, then they need to be arrested and deported. If you are in Thailand on a pension visa, you have to check in with the Thai immigration. I think it's every 6 months. I'm not sure what it is now. Every country in the world has strict immigration rules. Now Trump is putting in place strict immigration rules here in the United States, which I agree with. I'm not against strict immigration rules. I'm for them. The problem that I have is Trump is going after green card holders from countries he doesn't like. And that's discriminatory. And that violates the Immigration and Nationality Act. It's unconstitutional. And it's a violation of due process rights for American citizens and their family members. He's going to pay a price for that in November. Believe me. Listen to my words. Okay. And then all these problems that people are having in January of 2027, if the Democrats, which I'm sure they're going to, when they take over the House, they're going to they're going to start by investigating Trump. They're going to be filing impeachments against him for a lot of stuff that he's done. They're going to try to impeach him. They're not going to concentrate on legislation. They're going to concentrate on attacking Trump. That's what's going to happen in 2027. Democrats, okay, are mainly interested in raising your taxes, controlling your life, taking away your freedoms, and impeaching President Trump. That's their mission in life. Okay? That's what, and if they can collapse the economy, they're even into that. They'd be happy to collapse the economy. If they can collapse the economy, then everybody's going to be dependent on the government, which is what the communists in the Democrat Party want, just like living in Cuba. Francois, you know, Diego, your dedication is beyond phenomenon to people going through the many different processes. You never give up on any of us. Not any of us. No, I'm never going to give up. I'm going to pull you guys over the finish line. I'm going to get you your green cards and help you with your K-1 visas. You just got to be qualified for the benefit. Even if you're from a country that's on the block list right now, it's not permanent. President Trump cannot permanently block somebody from getting a green card if they qualify for it. The Immigration and Nationality Act says he can't do that. He's just trying the very best that he can do to jack with people's lives who are from foreign countries. That's what he's trying to do. James McLean. Hello, Diego. My wife's green card got approved on July 1st. She's from Nigeria. Thanks a lot. There you go. Congratulations. Now, Nigeria is on a list of block countries at the State Department level, not at USCIS level. Okay? But I knew she was going to get her green card. Now you just got to be patient. It's going to take a while before she'll get it, but she's going to get it. All right? Tell her to relax. Teach her, show her around the neighborhood where you live. Teach her where the Walmart is. Where does the Publix at? Where's the Piggly Wiggly at? Where's the CVS? Show her the neighborhood. I drove my wife around this block, around this town, around and around and around, so she knows this neighborhood like the back of her hand. Teach her beneficiary where everything is. Take her on vacation somewhere. I've taken Karina on vacation to Nevada, Arizona, California, Utah, Louisiana. I guess you can count Louisiana. We had to go to Louisiana for her biometrics twice. You guys are going to get your green cards. I don't care what country you're from if you qualify for the benefit. Same for those folks on the 39 countries that were blocked. That was overturned by a federal judge. And then Trump doesn't like to lose, so he filed an appeal. Okay. And then the federal judge turned around and said, you will comply with my frickin' order. That's what's going on. Eventually, Trump is going to lose because the Constitution is on your side, and so is the Immigration and Nationality Act. We just have a Congress that is worthless, a Senate that is worthless, and a president that is vicious. James McLean, how long will it take for her to get the green card? It's going to probably take about 4 months, maybe longer. Excuse me. I think I'm going to sneeze. Maybe. No. It could take about 4 months. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Living here in Florida is a beautiful place, but the pollen sometimes creeps into the AC vents. It's going to take a few months, okay? But just tell her to be patient. Thank you, Francois. Yeah, I had been sneezing because it's what happens to me in the summertime. Thomas, hello, Diego. I got my green card December 2025. I'm at work. My wife just texted me. We are expecting a letter from USCIS. What can that be, sir? So you got your green card in December 2025. Did you have to go to biometrics, Thomas? Did you have a biometrics appointment? when you got your green card in 2025? Or is what? It's probably a reminder letter. Okay, so you got your green card in December 2025. I'll tell you what that letter is. That letter is reminding you to lift the conditions off of your 2-year green card. So you're going to get a letter in the mail. I know you're probably nervous as heck right now because you're probably scared. What the heck is this letter coming to me? Don't be scared. It's a letter just telling you, don't forget that you have to submit a form I-751 plus all the supporting evidence of your relationship for the last 2 years within 90 days of your 2-year green card expiring. That letter is a reminder letter. Okay? So trust me, man, I've been doing this for 13 years. I've been processing green cards and K-1 visas for 13 years. That's exactly what that letter is. I can do a Vulcan mind meld, okay, into the computer, and that's what it is. So you're good. Relax, Thomas. You're good. Chill out. Just keep on doing what you're doing. You're going to get a letter telling you, don't forget to lift the conditions off your 2-year green card, and then you're going to submit the 2-year. Then you're going to file the I-751, and then you're going to get a biometrics letter telling you to go do biometrics. And then you're going to kick back and wait for the next year or two while you wait for your 10-year green card. And then during that time, you're going to qualify for U.S. citizenship. How about that for a rundown, Thomas? Pretty good, right? Just relax. It's no big deal. You got nothing to worry about. Karina is my wife, beautiful wife. She's from Venezuela. She loves it in the United States. She's trying to get used to this hot weather, and she's taking English classes, and she's moving ahead. She is not letting this administration bother her in the slightest. I keep telling her, you followed the rules. You did everything you're supposed to do. And so she's good. She never overstayed a visa. She's never violated any immigration laws. She was a legal resident of Colombia. She got legal residency in Colombia. She got a letter of character reference from the president of Colombia for her K-1 visa interview. I mean, she's cool. She's not worried at all. And Thomas, you shouldn't worry either, okay? Now, when you open that letter on the next live stream, what's today? Monday? On Wednesday, come on the live stream and tell me if I'm right. Right? Come on and say, hey, Diego, you were 100% right. That is a reminder letter for my 751 to file my 751. So how is everybody doing? You're not stressing this process, right? You're not stressing. Francois Hammett's going to get his 10-year green card. Everybody on here, Copperhead, you're going to find you a new girlfriend. You're going to find somebody nice, maybe down in South America. You're going to start working on a new relationship after I saved you from that criminal rip-off artist trying to rip you off. Right? You're going to be all right. And just try to relax. Every president has their own way of doing things. President Trump's done a great job, A+, secured the borders, got rid of illegal immigrants, but he's going after green card holders when he doesn't have authority to do that. Only the Congress can do that. Thomas, I went for my biometrics last February before my green card was issued. Yeah, that letter that's coming to you is a reminder letter, is telling you don't forget to file for your I-751. That's all it is. Don't panic. I will, if I'm wrong, I'll send you a free bag of coffee. I'll mail you a bag of coffee if I'm wrong. From Karina's coffee collection. She's got coffee from all over Colombia and Venezuela here in the house. But I'm not wrong. You're good to go. So what is everybody's favorite part of immigration? You have ups and you have downs. You have you have ups and it's like the stock market, right? You have good days and bad days. So if you also, for our members, we appreciate the membership, guys. Thank you for being members to our channel. Francois, David, Copperhead, we appreciate you as a member. Francois, the favorite part, you're funny. Yeah. What is your favorite part of this immigration process? Receiving the NOA2 letter approving your K1 visa. Was that a good day? That was a good day, right? Right? Getting the approval letter for your 2-year green card, the I-797C, that was a good day. Hey, I got approved. Right? That's probably about it. The rest of the process probably sucks, right? But getting those approval letters was good. NOA2 letters, right? That was a good day. I know it was for me when I got the letter for Karina's K1 visa. And then when she got her, and then we made a vacation out of the biometrics to New Orleans. We've been to New Orleans twice now. We made vacations out of it. Thomas, thanks, Mr. Diego. You're fine. You're good, Thomas. Just relax, okay? You're good. That letter is a good letter. It's immigration telling you, don't forget to file for the 10-year green card. That's all it is. Because you said 2025, right? December 2025. December 2025 to 2026. 2026 to 2027. So December 2027. What's the issue date on your green card, Thomas? What's the issue date? Was it December, sometime in December? 25, 26, December. I don't know. I don't remember what the issue date was. Francois Livingston, my favorite part, I would say, was the NOA2 letter, right? But going to the interview the second time was more relaxing than the first time in Abu Dhabi. Yeah, there you go. I was supposed to go to Karina's K1 visa interview with her in Bogota, Colombia, but I was sick. I couldn't go. I had altitude sickness and the flu at the same time. I couldn't hardly breathe. I was sick as a dog. So Karina got up at 4 o'clock in the morning, got ready, and went to her K1 visa interview in Bogota, and boom. The only thing she had to do was to get 2 letters, actually. An Interpol police security clearance letter, and she had to get a character reference letter from the president of Colombia. And she knocked them both out quickly. Thomas, you helped me with the process of getting my green card. I appreciate your good work. Well, that's why I'm here, okay? I've been doing this for a long time, and I really don't like to see people separated from each other because I know how that feels. I've been there and done that. I was separated from Karina for a year. I couldn't stand it. Thomas, December. So December of 2025. So 2026, December 2025, December 2026, December 20. So your green card expires what, in December 2027? Is that when it expires? So I'm trying to figure out. So you're not going to get that letter to remind you to lift the conditions until probably July of 2027. So we're still early on that letter. So I don't know why they're sending you a letter. Maybe they want you to repeat the biometrics. Francois, good night, Diego. USA Soccer is on now. Who is the United States playing? I don't even know who they're playing. I know Karina's been following the World Cup. I don't follow the World Cup, honestly. I really don't. But Karina, she loves it. So December of 2025. So your green card expires December 2027. 27. So I stand corrected. I don't know if that's going to be the reminder letter or not. But I wouldn't be concerned about it. It could be they want you to do biometrics again. Maybe that's what it is, just to repeat the biometrics. The people have been getting those letters quite frequently. You got to repeat the biometrics. But don't be concerned about it. Francois, Belgium. So they're playing Belgium. Now, I've been to Belgium. I went to Belgium. Let me see. I went to Ghent, Belgium. When was it? 1979, I think it was. I was in Belgium. It was pretty interesting country. Historic. I could see all of the bombed, the houses in Belgium. Some of the homes, you could still see the bombs the fragments from the bombs from World War II, from the German bombs and the American bombs and the British bombs. Belgium was pretty much bombed out in World War II, and a lot of those houses still have some of the remnants of those attacks, from machine guns or whatever. It's pretty historic. It's a historic country. I'm still trying to figure out here what this letter is for Thomas. So you've done your biometrics last February. Your green card was issued in December of 2025, 26. So December of 2027 is when it expires. So July, August, October. So in October, August. So August of 2027, you should get the reminder letter. So I don't know why there's a letter coming to your house. I don't know why, but it's probably not the reminder letter because it's too early. Maybe it's something to do with biometrics. Most likely it could be a repeat the biometrics again. That's what I'm thinking. I don't think it's the reminder letter. It's too early for that. So, but you shouldn't be concerned about it because your green card was issued and only an immigration judge can take it away. USCIS cannot take away your green card. You know that, right? Only an immigration judge can take away your green card if you commit crimes in the United States. If you do something bad, then you go in front of an immigration judge, and then the immigration judge will take away your green card, and then they put you in deportation proceedings, and you get kicked out of the country if you're a criminal. Other than that, it's usually going to be something simple. Repeat the biometrics, the reminder letter for the green card lifting conditions, etc. Anyway, I've been talking for an hour. Francois is going to watch the United States play Belgium in World Cup soccer. I'm going to go get something to eat, maybe grab me a drink of milk, and then we'll be back. What's today? Wednesday. I'll be back on Wednesday at 6 p.m. Central Time. Try to relax during the process. Thomas, try to relax. Don't worry about that letter. We'll figure out what it is, and when you get it, if you want to, send me a text of it so I can look at it and see what it is. See you guys at the next live stream, okay?